Yo, yo, what is going on? Good morning, good morning. It is a fresh 8:01 a.m. We're all doing well. Just setting things up. But quite a bit of interesting news going on in the NFT space, so I am excited for today's stream. Good to see you all. Is anyone here at all? Maybe not. Free the Fib. What's going on? Hey, hey, how are ya? All right. Let me throw this on Twitter. Give me a sec, guys. Right. What's some interesting news? Nike's launched another strategy on in the NFT space. We'll go through a little bit of that. Ooh, light's gone dark. 1 second. I'm gonna throw my other light source on. Yeah, Nike's launched something on Dot Swoosh, I believe. They're doing another separate from Artifact Studio play, which is interesting. Give me a sec. Little screenshot of that. Throw it on here. Such a random picture. Yeah. Nike's done something. Yuga Labs have acquired 10 KTF. Bored Ape has seen like 10 accept bid sales at about 50 ETH each. The floor's dropping. So yeah, some pretty interesting news to go through actually. We'll wait a couple minutes just so that the people that I have just posted come through. Let's see what's up. Anyway, so who's around here? So Magic Matt, what is going on? Welcome, welcome. NFT Addiction Helpline, a regular. Good morning, good morning. King Jesus Art, what's going on? Good morning, good morning. Good to see you guys. I was just saying there's some really interesting news going on. So we're talking about Nike. Is it Nike or Nike? How do you guys pronounce it? Nike with the E or Nike with no E? Let's settle that. I don't know. I don't know what the right way to say it is. I think in Australia you say it differently than the States. Yeah. So let's see how many people here. Fraser, what's going on? Hey, hey. Yeah, we'll start in a couple of minutes. Dot Swoosh, correct. Go through a bit of Dot Swoosh and Nike's plan as to what's going on here. But it looks like you'll be getting NFTs for under $50. Pretty interesting. So with an E, Nike. It's all right. So it's Nike. All right, we'll go Nike. All right, no more Nike. I'm gonna remove that from my vocabulary. Nike. Thank you. See, this is why I enjoy these conversations, because I learn how to say things properly. All right. So how many people are here? Let me just see. We'll start if there's 10 to 15 people here. 18 people watching. Awesome. All right, guys. Let's get going. I'm going to be pretty quick. So 35 minutes on the dot. We're going to end. If you're new here, remember that 8 a.m. Melbourne time. Every morning, Monday to Friday, there'll be a stream. This is just the start, all right? This is just the juicy start. We're going to be doing interviews. We're going to be doing giveaways. We're going to be doing all sorts of stuff on this stream. We're also going to be doing Twitter Spaces at some time. So look out for that. I'm going to be pretty regular on Twitter Spaces. In fact, I've already reached out to some really interesting recent partnerships. That would be a very good conversation on Twitter Spaces. So you'll probably see me doing a ton of YouTube Live, a ton on Twitter Spaces, a ton on TikTok and YouTube once again. Slowly but surely gearing up getting regular. Like it's a momentum thing. I remember back in the day before I launched Medicare and got really bogged down with work. I was doing. I think I'm frozen. Is it lagging? Did I freeze? Looks like I've frozen here. Let me give it a refresh. I'm not frozen. Bloody screen froze. No, all good. No, okay. I thought I froze. My bad. Okay, sweet. Here for the NFT alpha. All good, mate. Sweet. Matty, have you checked it out? Noble cards? No, I haven't. I can't stay for long. Says Clan Kirsch. Thanks for coming, man. Well, lady. Thanks to you for introducing me to NFTs and the strategy of buying lands. Not a problem. My pleasure. All right, guys. Again, really quickly, I'll be doing your Twitter Spaces and all that content again. Content really is a momentum thing, so really getting in the zone. So you see me tweeting a little bit more, you see me making a little bit more. I'll be committed to YouTube Live, doing TikTok, really getting the processes in place. If I want to be social heavy while running a company, you got to have process. So slowly we'll get there. All right, let's jump into this. It'll be interesting, this one. Again, we'll go on for 30 minutes. It'll stop at 8:35 a.m. We have about 27 minutes of this. We'll probably go to 8:30 a.m. on content and 5 minutes back and forth with you guys. Once again, thank you so much for joining in. For everyone that has so far, I do this because I love talking to you. I'll be honest. I mean, going through news is fun, but talking to you guys and seeing some back and forth, I really enjoy it the most. All right, cool. Let's go. So we're gonna rewind it back, and also I mean, there's still some FTX drama going on, but I really don't want to make these NFT streams about FTX stuff. This is a place where we don't freaking talk about FTX or crypto stuff too much, but anything related to the NFT scene, when it does impact the NFT scene, I'll maybe do a little bit of stuff on the crypto scene, right? So Amazon plans to lay off 10,000 employees as losses mount. Seen this as a regular thing, so I wanted to touch upon this quite quickly. Amazon stock has gone down to 2020 levels. So if you look at the stock, in fact, many companies are following the same charts. Seems very similar to crypto. I think what's happened is the stimulus that has come in over the COVID period, where the government has been printing money to help these companies survive. We're sort of seeing the pullback of that, right? Because that was all very inorganic, injecting into the stock market, crypto, etc. Of course, there's a massive bull market that it has need to come off of, but yeah, Amazon has been coming down from $140, $160 or something to 98, which is, yes, that is Jan 2020 levels. Jan 2020 levels. You can see a bit of a pullback here, and it continued its bull run, looking very crypto-y. This chart, I have to say, is looking very crypto-y. It looks like crypto charts are just stock charts, but crypto happens faster, right? So they lays off 10,000 employees as losses mount. I think what happens is companies need to take into account their burn rate, right? As they add more employees, they start to burn more money per month, per annum, and they lay out their 3-year plan, and then based on that burn rate, based on their treasuries, based on their risk and how much money they need in there to have a security, etc. They can only afford to burn X amount of capital per month before they go under. So as the stock price drops, they start to make layoffs. I mean, it's an obvious thing. So just a quick note on this. This popped up on my radar a little bit. Bored Ape Yacht Club floor has dropped quite a lot. This is quite interesting to me. Bored Ape Yacht Club has gone down to 52 ETH floor. Super interesting. I mean, they were at 120, maybe even 130 ETH at some point. Mind you, 130 ETH came, I think, at 2 points. One, when they were going to do their token drop. I think 2, when they were going to do a okay, sweet. I'm gonna make sure I do not disconnect, right? I'm freaking out that I disconnect. Yeah. So 2 points. One, when the token drop happened, and I think the second one was when the land sale happened, right? So is FTX affecting base E floor? No, I think what's affecting the base E floor is the narrative, it's the narrative, right? So this is the interesting part about being in the NFT scene in the early days, is that influencers can set narratives. And this is really important, guys. Super, super important, right? Narratives and stories push prices. So if you're like, oh, Bored Ape is a punk killer, right? In the early days, that was the narrative that was being pushed. Bored Ape Yacht Club is the punk killer. Bored Apes is going to flip punks. Bored Apes is going to flip punks. Solana is the ETH killer. XRP is a Bitcoin killer. Neo is the Chinese blockchain of blockchain equivalent of in China for Ethereum. All of these narratives that get pushed in the early days, they start to get people thinking, oh, wait a second, that might happen. So in the early days, if you guys remember, Bored Ape Yacht Club absolutely did have a great community at the start, and people were buying it. And I know friends that just loved it. They loved the Bored Ape stuff, and it was really cool. But there was a strong narrative of that, wait a second, this is going to flip punks, it's going to flip punks. And there was, because of that being pushed and pushed and pushed, the price went up to a certain degree, right? Now the narrative is switching again, because punks, if you guys haven't seen, punks have gone up to about 58 to 60 ETH. The history is doing its thing. Time is doing its thing, and it's giving value to historical NFTs. Historical NFTs are similar to your artifact, okay, not the RTFKT, but your artifacts of the real world, which only age in time. If you had a freaking rock of, minus 200 BC, 200 BC, then from the Stone Age with like a mark on it, then that would be worth a ton of money, because age gives value for items, right? Now, of course, those are things that are very hard to get. Similar thing here. So things like CryptoPunks, especially CryptoPunks, other projects maybe in that era, they will continue to age. They don't need to build any utility. So this is where narrative is shifting again, and this is why blue chips aren't blue chips until 5 or 6 years go past and they find their place or in the story of NFTs. Right? This is a very zoomed out view of this space. Yeah. Sergey says, "Good morning, Matty. So good morning, sir." Yeah. So that's what I think is happening is that again. So, but also there's this, right? So Franklin did a accepted bid. So this is Franklin's activity for his wallet, and I've been checking things out, right? I want to investigate what's going on. What were the recent sales? Why did it drop to 452 ETH? And it looks like Franklin's gone ahead and has accepted about 7 to 8 bids. So you can see these WETH. I do believe WETH sales are bid accepts. So Franklin's accepted bids or an offer. And usually those are lower than what's listed, right? When you accept a bid, it's usually about 5 to 10% lower on highly liquid projects, especially Bored Apes. It's usually about 10 to 15% accepting of a difference from what's listed on the floor price. So it looks like he's gone ahead and done that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 days ago, 7. Looks like the last 5 days he's been selling off his Bored Apes. 5, 6. Jeez. Oh, he's been buying them? He's bought some. He's bought some and then he's sold some. So he seems to be buying maybe apes that he likes a bit more. But yeah, when you see Franklin to here, it looks like they're going out, right? And then he's buying some back. So weird. Why would he be selling and then buying some? Anyway. Maybe you know what happens as well is when you sell, you have to, because of tax purposes, every time you sell something, and if you want to declare this as tax, then you have to pay like 30 to 40% tax in some countries. So say you sell 3 Bored Apes, 1 Bored Ape has to go to the tax man, right? So you have to like excessively sell at some point. Maybe this is the right time to sell, because maybe Franklin bought it when it was a little bit more. No, Franklin bought it at the early days, I believe. Anyway, it looks like Franklin's accepting a lot of really low bids, which is pushing the price even more lower. Don't know if he's done, but how many more Bored Apes does Franklin have? It looks like he's got 5, 10, 15, 20, about 20, 25, maybe 30. About 30-ish Bored Apes left. Looks like he sold a good amount, like maybe 50 to 60. Anyway, so it looks like that's what's putting the pressure and the narrative switch, which is punks again finding their position as number one. Same thing will happen if any project gets taken over. Like for example, if hypothetically there's a blockchain project that supersedes Ethereum, then holy shit, Ethereum will be like, will drop a lot, right? Because people put a lot of capital in Ethereum because they think it's the number one. When the number one gets flipped, then that sort of freaks out some people. So yeah, Bored Ape Yacht Club is dropping because one, Franklin selling and accepting bids, and two, I feel the narrative is shifting a little bit. But I think utility in time should bring people back to this project. I mean, they do have $1 billion freaking dollars to build value so that these NFTs grow in value. But isn't it interesting that you have to have hundreds of millions of dollars or tens of millions of dollars to help consistently bring the value of an NFT project up? Whereas history is such a strong driver of value that it can continuously bring price action to something like CryptoPunks, right? The CryptoPunks founders aren't even the same founders anymore. They're owned by Bored Ape Yacht Club. So, and there's no real promise of future complete utility for CryptoPunks. You can probably use it in the metaverse, in their virtual world. I shouldn't say metaverse. But will you be able to do more, or will they continue to service Bored Apes? Who knows? Who knows? That's interesting. That's a pretty big drop. Do I own any Nifty portals? No, I don't. Is that PO and Nix, right? I'm a investor into their company, so I invest in the early days into their company. I have to buy some Nifty portals. They're crushing it. They're crushing it. I haven't talked about the Nike stuff yet. Asks Josh. Smash the like button, says John. John, you are the best. Thank you so much. Just yeah, you keep reminding me to smash the like button. Hit the like button, guys. It helps people find this stream more. Right, helps me a lot. People find this. 42 people watching this stream, awesome. So we just covered Bored Ape Yacht Club, why it's going down. A couple of notes. It's gone to 52 ETH. It's dropped a good 60 to 70%. One, Franklin sort of dumping his NFTs. Two, the narrative switch from punk flipping Bored Ape is putting a bit of sell pressure. There is also the Ape coin that has dropped to $2.90. It's seen a pretty big hit, 40% down in the last 7 days. That's pretty big if you compare that to other projects. It's not as, the other projects aren't as bad. I don't know if that's because ApeCoin's coming off like a little bit more of a high, or people are wanting more clarity on where they've kept their funds. But I didn't expect a 40% dip on 7 days for ApeCoin. You know, a 20% increase in much of the other projects. ApeCoin, I feel like ApeCoin were very good every month at releasing something strong about their project. I think they've come off a little bit of that. Yeah. So Yuga Labs have acquired Yuga Labs and 10KTF Shop. 10KTF is somewhat of a new project for me. Like, I haven't really looked into it too much, but it seems like, and you guys can correct me if you are wrong. So they've made like a personality here. I don't know if this is a real personality. Maybe it is. I hope I'm saying this right. It looks like it's a digital personality, WAGMI son, who is he releases digital items. So digital items like this, a unique one every day or two or something like that. But there's unique ones that get released, and they're of different projects. So this one seems to be of it looks like the World of Women, right? This is for cats. This is the ones for the penguins. Some familiar faces here. You've got gutter cats, got pudgy penguins, more stuff. So all of these things came out. So World of Women snapbacks, pretty cool. It seems, and I read that most of them are digital only, but it seems like on their website there is opportunities to get these in physical as well. So I don't know if these are digital and physical. It did say one-to-one digital. So his accessories are one-of-one digital objects that will only be created once. So it looks like digital. It would be very cool if these are physical. I thought they were physical. Can you let me know if that's right? We're gonna make it son Wagme. All right, fine. I'll say Wagme. Is Wagme's son Beeple? I don't know. Could it be? Beeple definitely has some collaboration here. But anyway, they've been acquired. They've been acquired by Yuga Labs, right? So Yuga Labs have acquired them, and they've also acquired another one called Yuga Labs. We New Labs? Renewables? We New Labs. Okay, cool. And on the website they do some physical stuff as well. So yeah, that's an interesting one. I think there's a lot of space. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, right? And I'm gonna show you this with Binance's CZ as well. But this is the time you're gonna see when projects are struggling, and I don't think WKTF is struggling. I think projects that were able to raise, and you guys remember this, some of these projects were able to raise 10, 20, 30, 70 million US dollars. In the case of Bored Apes, $1 billion freaking dollars. They can just go out as a monster in the industry and acquire all of the projects that seem to be finding their feet as category leaders, right? So there you go. That's what's going to happen. It's some of these larger projects are going to start eating the NFT space. It's kind of like Coca-Cola, right? Coca-Cola own a ton of subsidiary companies, all these other brands, or like Asahi owning Gatorade and Solo and stuff like that. These larger brands, they start to make a lot of capital. They acquire other brands underneath that, so that they suddenly pretty much own the whole ecosystem, right? So I think Bored Ape Yacht Club, I mean, this is their second or third acquisition. They've started to make acquisitions across the space. I mean, they bought punks, crypto freaking punks. Who knows what else they're going to buy? They're just going to go out and, I mean, they got $1 billion, right? They got $1 billion and they're continuously making like 5 ETH per sale. Every sale of their Bored Apes. They got an unlimited amount of money to go out there and acquire stuff. So let's see how that goes on. They also came out to sort of reassure everyone that they don't have anything in the FTX stuff, that they're in Coinbase custody. In fact, a lot of projects have had to come out and declare where their funds are located. FTX ripple effect is pretty strong, right? FTX ripple effect. I mean, everyone's trying to say, all right, well, where's your money? Is it in exchanges? If it is in exchanges, why is it there? Safe there? Why is it in Gnosis? Why is it not in a ledger? So everyone's had to kind of come out and say proof of their treasury, which is really important. I mean, I'll tell you the truth, guys. Like in 2018 to 2019 to 2020, so many projects, you don't understand, guys. So many projects just threw in the towel. They threw in the towel because their funds got depleted. They left their money in Ethereum. Ethereum became from $1,000 worth $100. So that, you know, if they raised $1 million, they suddenly had only 50 to 100K to pay their employees, which suddenly became impossible. Their projects died because the community left. There were so many projects threw in the towel that those that survived were pretty much the only ones that had a strong treasury that they protected well in the bear market. And there weren't very many that did that. Many people kept their money in ETH. I know with DCL, there was a lot of pressure in, do you guys have any money left? A lot of people were asking those questions when, especially the crypto market was down a lot. Just a note on Medikey. I mean, I have to put an announcement out on the Discord, but Medikey, we have 80% of our capital in USDT, right? Or USDC, one of the two. We have it in that. We have it in a Gnosis wallet, and a Gnosis wallet requires two sign-offs over 3. So it requires, you know, me and my co-founder, our signees, and there's a third person. So then we just make sure that it's there, it's secure, our capital is in stable assets. So we love Ethereum. We still have like 1,000 Ethereum, but the reality is, you need stability. If you're going to run companies, if you're going to hire employees, if 30 plus people are on your payroll, you have to ensure that these people get paid for the next 2 years so that the work can get done. So as much as I, as a degen, want to buy a ton of Ethereum, I can't. I have to be like, no, Matty, Ethereum can go up, but it can also get decimated. You have to be practical. Let's make sure that happens. So we're pretty good. Like we have quite a lot of capital to run for the next 2-3 years. Raise more money if we need to, but we're really, really good when it comes to our funds and treasury when it comes to Medikey. So we're good. Let's keep going. So Blur.io has come out and said that Blur will enforce royalties on permissioned NFTs. I believe permissioned NFTs are NFTs that can transact anywhere. We will continue to incentivize royalties on all NFTs while taking 0% marketplace fees themselves. So they pretty much came out and said, hey, look, we will provide a service for you for free. Just trade on marketplace. You'll get the royalties. You'll get whatever you want. You can do whatever you want, but we're going to charge 0% marketplace fees. For context, OpenSea announced last week that they will turn off royalties on new collections that don't block optional royalty marketplaces. Their reference implementation puts them in control of which addresses can transfer NFTs. If it gains adoption, that NFTs will shift from open decentralized assets to permissioned assets ruled by OpenSea. This introduces significant centralization and regulatory risk to NFTs. The entire industry saw the importance of decentralization in the wake of last week's events. If you are a collector creator, we recommend using your own blacklist that you fully control yourself. So basically, OpenSea came out, I think it was last week or the week before, and they basically declared war against every NFT marketplace, saying that, hey guys, we're on the creator side, which is a very good thing. It's a noble thing to be on the creator side. But the option of blacklisting marketplaces that don't honor the fees, which is kind of good because it forces marketplaces to honor royalties. But at the same time, they were kind of like, you know what? Every marketplace can be blacklisted. And we control the code for that blacklisting. So it's not a custom code that the creator has made, the code that OpenSea has created. So if that becomes mainstream and people start to develop projects with blacklists, permanent blacklists, that I don't know if they can be switched, then basically a lot of these projects will only be bought and sellable in OpenSea itself, which is an issue, right? Which is an issue. So Blur has come out to put their stance up. I don't like the concept of blacklisting, but what is the solution at the end of the day when it comes to another marketplace being able to sell an NFT for 0% royalty, and the creator doesn't want that? The only way is to blacklist them, right? So I think there's a balance here. So maybe there's a shakeup that needs to stabilize. Maybe we need to figure out, well, maybe other marketplaces will start to honor the marketplace fees to not be blacklisted. Maybe that's the place we're going. I don't think OpenSea will block you from taking your NFT to Decentraland or another app where the utility can be used. Anyway, a lot to figure out. Look, when hard decisions are made in the industry to solve problems, there's usually two sides of people that will argue with each other, right? Happens in politics, happens with NFT marketplaces as well. All right, let's keep going, guys. So CZ has come out to say this: to reduce further cascading negative effects of FTX, Binance is forming an industry recovery fund to help projects who are otherwise strong but in a liquidity crisis. More details to come soon. In the meantime, please contact Binance Labs if you think you qualify. So this is very noble. All right, very cool. A liquidity crisis. If anyone's going through a liquidity crisis, we've got a recovery fund. But here we go. This is where it gets a little bit interesting. Also welcome other industry players with cash who wants to co-invest. So it's not an industry recovery fund where people can draw from it for free. It's an investment fund. It's an investment fund. Crypto is not going away. We are still here. Let's rebuild. So CZ is doing similar things to Bored Ape Yacht Club in the sense of they're going to be the giant in the room with tens of billions of dollars saying, you know what, we're fine. But if anyone's in struggle town, we'll buy you out. Or we'll buy equity into your company. We'll trade your liquidity. We'll save your company if you give us some equity into your company. It's a very, very good time for companies like Binance that are stocked the hell up. And looking out there and looking at all these companies in struggle town, looking at their largest competitors in the whole industry and saying, you know what, if you want to be saved, we'll save you, but we want some equity. So it's an investment fund. It's not a recovery fund. You know, CZ is very good at marketing stuff. I don't have any love-hate relationship with any personalities. I'm just very critical of them coming out because I know that there's always an element of business. There's always an element of business when it comes to any talk in this space, right? So, okay, it's a recovery fund, noble, but because it's co-investing, there's actually a trade for this fund to provide liquidity to help your customers to make sure that you guys are okay, but we'll take a ton of equity. So yeah, let's see how that plays out. But again, like, it's interesting to observe this, right? For me, it is very interesting to observe this happen because in real time, you get to see the rise and fall of many companies, right? You get to see the rise and fall of many companies and the acquisitions of companies. You start to see how companies react to bear markets. And when they do really bad, what happens? When they do really good, what happens? You see thousands of companies go through this, which is why I hang around in the NFT industry. I'm not buying or selling NFTs regularly, but I'm always hanging around because I like to see growth and just observe this whole phase, because if this happens again for another industry, you know exactly what's going to go down, right? All right, Nike Dot Swoosh. So very quickly, Nike released their own little marketplace here. So Dot Swoosh Metaverse platform, they say, is here. Let's go straight to the website. So Dot Swoosh or swoosh.nike, this actually just had a landing page with a date on it. But it seems that they've released this thing here called Dot Swoosh is the home for Nike's virtual creations. Join us on the 18th of the 11th, 2022. Dot Swoosh is a new community experience designed to give you the opportunity to co-create the future of Nike. So it looks like you can create and collect digital assets. So it's not just shoes, you can get pants and all sorts of wearables with immersive experiences, unlock special access, get special access or content, and pre-order upcoming drops. So Nike what they do is they do continuous drops and collaborations in the physical world, right? There's a big sneakerhead community there. All right, I think I have disconnected. No, I'm still there. Gave myself a refresh. Okay. So you build with a community. It's a similar sort of. It's your usual thing, right? But it's Nike labeled. It's like create, collect, sell, community driven. They've got the community to do it. Now, some facts about it. So virtual creations, what are they? Nike virtual creations include sneakers, apparel, accessories, and other collectibles you can wear in games or other immersive experiences. So if this is interesting. This has got me. So, I'm not frozen, am I? This thing keeps refreshing. Yeah. Let me know if I'm okay in the chats, guys. I feel like the internet's turned off. I've got this issue with my internet that stops and starts all the time. I think I'm alright. Or is it lagging? Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine? Okay. Clan says I'm fine. Let me see. Let me just wait for a couple more people, Clan. On my screen, I'll show you what it says. It just does this little circly thing, and then I look frozen. Right? That does this little circle of death thing. One person says I'm fine. 31 watching. I'll wait a little bit longer. Oh, I thought I was talking to myself. I want to talk to myself. Weird. Fraser says all good. I think there was a dropout, says Clan. Okay. I think I'm good. I'm good. Okay, sweet. All right, let's continue. All right, what are Nike virtual creations? Yeah, so they're apparel and digital items that you can buy and sell. So here's an interesting thing, right? You look for the minor details. This is what matters. You can wear in games or other immersive experiences. So I've always thought when you buy the NFTs of a brand, the first NFTs, and the metaverse does take shape. So imagine the metaverse does take shape and you can really take your NFTs to different games and places. And those NFTs are going to have value because, say, for example, you can take NFTs to Fortnite, right? Hypothetically. Then suddenly millions of people will be like, whoa, shit, this guy's got a legit NFT Nike that's rare and scarce and blah, 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 blah. You can start to flex it in different million plus people, places. So not many companies have been able to do that. And Nike seems like what I can see this doing is Nike sells NFTs as the first drop or collectibles. And then other companies that want to onboard the digital Nike community will say, you know what, Nike are now usable in our world. You can flex these in those worlds. It's very hard for that to happen because bridges need to be built, but that's the interoperability that I see. And these are the brands that I want to look for. In fact, I think Artifact are going to do the same. Nike is a little bit easier to think that they're going to do that because they've already got a network of collaborators that have done this, right? They've got a massive network that does this. So yeah, super interesting with this. Yeah. How do I get a virtual creation? Join Swoosh, blah, blah, upcoming drops. What is a wallet? So all this basic stuff. How do I contact for all the support? Basic stuff. environmental impact. So here's the thing, right? They're on Polygon. So Polygon and Nike collaboration. I'm going to reach out to Polygon and see if they want to do a Twitter Spaces. It'll be really interesting to get these on Twitter Spaces. Is it related to Artifact and Nike Land? So Artifact and Nike Land use similar tools and technologies as Dot Swoosh, but they're all different projects. So different projects. So Artifact and Dot Swoosh are absolutely different projects, right? You got to clear that up. Polygon have announced, yeah, the partnership, right? And they've said that it's going to cost $50. So you're going to get some NFTs as low as $50, I believe. So I think they said that somewhere. Nope, they didn't say that somewhere. But I saw an article saying you can get NFTs as low as $50. So I think there'll be probably a really large supply. I don't think they're going to go for 10,000. I think they're going to do something like 50,000 supply for $50 each, right? Because they want a larger amount of people that have digital assets from Nike. So I think it's an interesting play. I think it's interesting to be part of their ecosystem, because if you missed out on Artifact, at least I don't think you'll be buying these for tens of thousands of dollars. Yeah. The anime orchestra says there'll be more collectibles at lower prices. I totally agree. I don't think people will think like this, especially if the NFT costs 10K. The current low supply, high price is not sustainable. Absolutely agree. Low supply, high price is only for collectibles that will last a long period of time, right? I don't think many brands can hold that up unless they've got a very strong value build proposition. The high supply, low price is what is going to get a good amount of users that are sustainable for a long period of time, that will pay attention and will be part of the project. Because what happens over time is people from the project, they leave, right? So if you sell only for 2,000 people and 1,500 flip and leave, then you didn't really have a community to begin with. So this one's an interesting one, guys. I will probably be purchasing some of this stuff. I'm actually really interested to see what is in the plans for this. Let's see if we can get Nike on a Twitter Spaces or on a YouTube Live or something. But yeah, how's that? So really starting to get content every day. My content sources are starting to become really, really good. So what I do these days, guys, is I I've got like a bunch of news sites that I open up and check on the daily, which gives me data, which gives me information on news. So NFT Gators is pretty good. NFT Gators Twitter. Then you got the Hacker Noon. If anyone's done any specific articles, that's pretty interesting. There's all this NFT Now and all these Twitter articles. So if anyone's released any new articles, and I can see because I have Twitter Blue, I can actually see any top trending articles, right? So I can just click these here. Yuga Labs welcomes 10K TF. So now what's happening is really easy for me to curate content to talk about and find out. So in about 10 to 20 minutes, I can get the gist of the NFT market and move the hell on, because I usually used to spend an hour just browsing and trying to figure out news. So content around here should get a bit better. Right? But let's talk to you guys a little bit. That is the deal. So we've got some interesting developments. I think what's going to happen is this NFT space is still going to keep going. Some of these prices are going to drop. They're going to get more attractive to invest in, because with, much of these projects have to drop to ground level again to be enticing to be part of, right? You can't be sustainable if the cheapest ticket item to get into Bored Ape Yacht Club is $500,000. It's got to come down, right? So there'll be these waves of interest, and this is what happens in the crypto industry. There's big drops